Welcome to the Opposition Preview. So, hello everyone and welcome back to the Bleed Norwich YouTube channel. We're back for another Opposition Preview tomorrow night. Norwich travel down to Watford, where we obviously face Watford in the Papa Diallo derby. I am joined with Watford fan Aaron. Aaron, how are you today, buddy?
I'm very good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, very well. I mean, poor start to the season for both of us, as we were saying just before we started recording. But yeah, there's a lot of expectation, I think, with Watford and Norwich this season. What Watford as well. Obviously, you've signed some big players. Are we going to see any of them? I think Aaron Kunda, surely he'll start tomorrow night.
Yes, I fully expect him to start after he didn't start from the off on Saturday. He did come on sort of from, I think it was about the 60th minute in the end, and looked lively. Obviously couldn't impact the game enough to get us any points out of it in the end. But no, I think you'll see him start. I'm sort of the opinion that we might not see a ton of change though, given that the performance just looks a bit disjointed Saturday. I wonder now if he'll use this game almost as like an extra pre-season friendly to try and iron out some kinks that we had, especially going forward. So we might not see sort of a wholesale change like you do sometimes see with Carabao Cup teams. I think you might just see a bit of the lineup tweaked and some players continue to start.
Yeah, no, of course. I think Watford and Norwich are sort of in very similar positions. Obviously, both ex-Premier League clubs, both relegated, sort of languishing in the Championship now. We've been battling out for the mid-table spots last season. We've both got new managers in, complete new squad in terms of signing players and letting players go. And like you say, tomorrow could well be like another pre-season friendly for both sides, really. But with Watford, obviously, you lost to Charlton on Sunday, newly promoted side. Was there any cause for concern with that performance?
Um, Obviously, no one wants to go into the new season with anything but a win, really. So it was a bit disheartening, but I think going into that game, you're playing a newly promoted side at their place. They're going to be up for it. As much as I dislike him, Nathan Jones is a good manager who sets his team up certain
Yeah.
ways, and they play hard and they play rough, and it was always going to be a challenge going to the Valley. Um, do I think yes, the result was negative. Yes, there's loads to work on, but there was glimpses of what we could become. It just is how quickly will we figure that out? I mean, obviously, as anyone watching will know, you don't have to be a Watford fan to know that the managers don't really get a long time. So it's going to be a case of can we work it out quickly, and how long will the new manager Paolo Pessolano have to work it out and get it right? Because yeah, like you say, we're in a very similar position. I've always thought we're almost parallel. We tend to go up at the same time,
Yeah.
come down at the same time. We're now sitting at the same time. And yeah, it's just funny that the two teams in yellow that have been in the championship for so long have sort of gone around together. And yeah, like you say, very similar transfer windows to the point where obviously we're even linked to the same players at certain points. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game for us, and I think we will see sort of almost like a pre-season friendly vibe. I don't think the crowd will be very big for us. I'm not sure how many Norwich fans will be heading. Obviously, it's a Tuesday night, so it's not ideal. But
Yeah, I think many are
yeah, I
heading.
think yeah, it's going to be like almost that extra game
Yeah.
to sort of just test stuff out. I think.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, I don't think many are heading. Um, I think I'm going by myself tomorrow. I've got none of my pals with me, which is the first away day in about 10 years where that's happened. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But like just touching on what you said about obviously we've linked with the same players this summer, and one of them, Papa Diallo. What did you make of that whole sort of scenario over the summer? It was a bit chaotic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a weird one because it was actually one of the first deals that was sort of brought up as we went into the summer, and then supposedly it was kind of done. And what it led to being, from what I've read, I cannot remember the name of the account. So I mean, if anyone could pick it up, that'd be great. There was this guy that seems to specialize in looking at like foreign contract details, and he pointed out that although we were going ahead with the medical for this player, we didn't have an ESC slot to give him. So
Yeah.
what it would have taken is if we were to have done a deal for him, he would have had to play a first team game for Mets and then come to us to get the right points for like I guess it's kind of like the visa.
Yeah.
So although it looked like a transfer that we were certain on doing, it sort of became unstuck by that, and I guess that then allowed Norwich to come in and be like, well, we can give you an EHC slot straight away. We can get you straight in the squad. You can come and play. You got the exact same opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
again, we're sort of at a similar position. So I guess, if you're the player, then you're obviously going to take the deal where you can get in and get playing your football straight away, aren't you? So he looks like a promising player. I can't say obviously I've watched a ton. I'm not a connoisseur of French football, but from what I've seen, the little clips and sort of some of the dossiers wrote about him, he looks like a very exciting winger who's got a bit of pace about him. So it'll be interesting to watch him when he probably plays tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think it's looking like he will be starting tomorrow night, and that's obviously the uproar on Twitter when the whole Diallo saga unfolded was a bit mental. What sort of reception do you think Diallo could get tomorrow night?
Do you know what? I don't think too many will be bothered because although the Watford sort of Twitter sphere is quite loud, I mean, once you're sort of in it and you're on it, looking at it all the time, it seems very big. But I've often found that some of the opinions we see on Twitter don't really get reflected into the stadium. I feel like, especially because we're going to have quite a small crowd tomorrow night. I wouldn't be surprised if half of them don't really know about it, to be honest. So no, I don't think he'll get too much stick. It would be very Watford of a thing to happen for him to score.
Yeah.
So I'll be having a look at Bet365 and other betting apps to see what kind of odds I can maybe get on that.
Yeah, no, I might have to back that myself, but then would be very Norwich of him to drop an absolute stinker. So it could go either way tomorrow night. But just before we finish up on this opposition preview, what is your score prediction going into tomorrow night?
Oh, do you know what? Like I said, I think it's going to be a bit of a pre-season run out for us, but I do think we now won't change too much. It'll be interesting to see if you sort of follow suit with that. I'm going to say we're going to get a draw and it will go to penalties. I'm going to say 1-1, and I'm going to say, I'll try and be positive and say that we edge it on pens, but it's a lottery. Yeah, I'm going to say 1-1 goes to penalties.
I think that's exactly what my prediction is. That is coming out on the Instagram page is later, but Norwich to win on pens. Yeah, I'm not really too overly confident going into this. It's after Saturday's performance, I was a bit disheartened by everything. I'll be honest. It was a bit sort of a wake up call. We're not quite there yet. There's a lot of excitement going into the season, as there is with football fans, and then it was sort of a big sort of, I don't know, punch in the back sort of thing. It was like, oh Christ, we're not quite there yet. But yeah, fingers crossed we can win in the cup. But obviously anything can happen in the cup. It could end up 5-0 Watford for all I know. Nestroyer and Kunda can score a hat trick, and stick the two fingers up to Papa Diallo. We do not know. But Aaron, thank you very much for coming on Bleed Norwich today. It's been a pleasure having you on.
No, my pleasure. Thank you very much.